Morning. I thought I'd do another update because it's been a little while. So I've now I'm now officially being registered um, as sight impaired, and so that's all happening. I've got now obviously still the same, nothing in my right eye. I can just see whether it's light or dark, and if there's a bright light, I can see movement in front of it. With my left eye, I've still got 20% left. I think I can't remember what it was the last time I did this video, but yeah, there's not much left in there, but I can see outlines. I use obviously when I'm walking, I can use the shapes of buildings and stuff to find my way around. And so that's my eyes. Yeah, so they're registering me because there's no treatment that can be offered to me to restore my sight. So I lost my sight just over 2 years ago now, and so I've kind of come to terms with that. I've completed my cane training, which is really good, and I can't get a guide dog because Teddy is mean to other dogs. So, and Teddy's my little baby, so um, I'm quite happy walking around with just my cane. My confidence has grown. I had a little knockback 2 Tuesdays ago. No, maybe about three weeks ago. I got off the bus, and I normally wait for the bus to drive off before I start walking. And because of the hearing, I've got very good hearing, but with the bus engine running behind me, I can't hear the cars. So I heard that one car was driving across the road that I wanted to cross, so I let it go, and I was in a rush to get home. And so when that car went past, I stepped out and stepped directly in front of a car where the learner had just passed his test. So really shook him up, shook myself up. And then I was a little bit scared to go out for the next week because I was worried, something would go wrong. But I overcame that, and basically my volunteer was coming, and she said I needed shopping, and I really struggled to do online shopping because I'm gonna get this support from the RNIB where they put the program onto my laptop so that I can do a shopping order verbally. But I'm just waiting for my certificate of being registered to come through so that we can get that bit of technology up and running. So at the moment, I'm kind of quite dependent on people to help me do my shopping, and so I was getting to the point that I was running out of everything, and I had to go. So I did, and that was enough to push me then to carry on. So there's been no problems. I've been getting out and about and back to normal. But I went from now onto the diabetes. It's all happening. So I went to my regular diabetes review that every diabetic has, no matter what type you have. Basically, they check your feet because diabetics are quite prone to having like damage to their feet, and then they check your injection sites to make sure you're not getting any of these. I can't remember the official name, but basically it's like a fatty lump where you keep injecting into the same spot, and if you keep doing that, then your body's not going to be able to absorb the insulin properly. Sorry, I need to move because my charger's dying. I should have thought about this before, but I'll carry on talking on the way. So, sorry, my phone's dying. I need the charger. So basically, I just went for that regular review, and ended up the doctor calling me an ambulance because, well, basically I've had really high liver function, and so I've having to have weekly blood tests to monitor it, and they called me an ambulance because of that, and my ketones and my HbA1c blood test, and I had a really high pulse, and for some reason have managed to gain a irregular heartbeat. So all of this is all damage from not looking after diabetes. And that's why I am so keen to educate people. I feel a little bit of a fraud because I obviously didn't look after myself, but if I could turn the clock back, I would. And so all these complications have come from not looking after my diabetes. And I have had a very stern talking to from the doctor, everybody. Like, basically, if I don't get complete, I've been good, but I haven't been completely perfect. So I will often estimate and can run high blood sugar levels. And when you've had something like diabulimia, you're terrified of weight gain. So if you've watched my previous video, how I stopped looking after my diabetes was, one, because I was working 7 days a week, all hours, and not allowing time to look after myself, but also because the ketones would kick in, and my body would then eat its own fat as a survival thing. So you go into what's called ketosis, and then you go into DKA because it's dangerous for diabetics to get high ketones. But also because I was struggling really bad with mental health, and when I'm running high, I'm not with it. Like, I am kind of like a zombie. When I'm feeling low or feeling bad about stuff, if I skip my insulin, I'm dull. I'm kind of just doing the motions of life. So it sounds quite deep, but that's what happened to me. And as a result, I was too skinny. And I went to a size 8, which doesn't suit me at all. Some people, they look lovely at that size, but I've always had like curves, and being really skinny isn't natural for me. I lost a lot in my face, and I became very weak because I was doing it in a very unhealthy way. I was basically like killing myself. And so as a result, since I had that big scare recently, I've really been not only being good, but being perfect, like trying to be perfect. So I've got the Carbs and Cows app, and every single item of food that I have, obviously I need to have carbs. I need to have, like, I'm not being stupid, I'm eating like normal foods. If I want a slice of cake, I'll have a slice of cake. But I'm putting it all into this app, so I know exactly what I've eaten, and then I can work out exactly how much insulin I need, and so I don't have the spikes. And it has resulted in quite a few hypos recently, which has been quite new to me because it's been quite a few years since I've been suffering with hypos, because I've been, more so running high. So that's good. But as a result, I've got up a clove size, which is very scary when you've had an eating disorder. So I was an 8 to 10. At my worst, I was only just an 8, and now I've gone up to a 10, and I would say near virgin a 12, which feels quite scary for me, because I really see myself as now like I'm obese. But the thing is that I have to, look after myself, or I'm not going to be here in a year or two, and that's what they're basically saying. So I've been referred to the eating disorder clinic, and I start that next week. which I guess I need, but personally I feel like they're going to look at me and laugh, because everybody else that goes there are like really, really skinny and like, you know, sort of bony and looking very, very frail, whereas I'm not. But obviously it's the mindset. I also started cat therapy, which has been, I literally just done my first one and it was amazing. I went and I was completely like, oh, shall I go or shall I not? I don't know if it's going to work for me. Is it just going to bring up bad things? Like, what's the point in bringing up things from the past when you can just move forwards? Like, might rekindle bad feelings or and stuff. But it's nothing like that. It's all about the way that you look at yourself and the way that you treat yourself. So I treat myself badly. I see myself as a very unattractive, overweight person. And he's trying to train my mind to see myself and treat myself differently. Like, I wouldn't treat somebody else differently, because I wouldn't treat someone the way that I've treated myself. So yeah, that's all been happening at once. Obviously, when this ambulance situation happened, everything kicked in, and it was like help Stacey mode. So I'm getting the help I need. I do feel a bit let down by the diabetes team, because they haven't sent me appointments. They've been chased by multiple people and they're not getting back to me. They know that I need help. They know that I've lost my eyesight because of this. The good thing is I've got my endocrinologist sent me an appointment through, which is in 2 months. Obviously, it's a big waiting list to get to see your endo, but that will be really helpful. And yeah, so it's a bit of a struggle at the moment. I am keeping a like good mindset. I feel good in myself. Like, I'm very concerned about the fact that I've gone up a clove size, but I know that that's all like just I'm overdoing it in my head, and it's okay. I wasn't well when I was smaller, and I know like I was drastic then. So that's good. I have got my Suno band, which has been working really, really good. I'm going to do a separate video on that. Well, when I say it's really, really good, it's good sometimes. So I practiced it on my own, and I had the band on. And basically what it is it's a wristband, and it's got a big sensor at the top, and it's to scan me from my waist upwards to tell me if I'm going to walk into something, because I'm constantly hitting my face on branches. You know, you get like the prickly branches that hang over, and I won't see them, so I would walk directly into them and scrape up my face, and I hit my head on things. And yeah, so this band vibrates as you're getting closer. So it starts off as a slow pulse, and then the faster you get, it gets faster, and then it's just a constant buzz when you need to stop dead and basically walk around it. So I got off the 28 bus, but it was telling me, it was going off all the time, because obviously I'm sat there and I've got people at waist height, I've got chairs, the bus, everything's at waist height, so the band's just going off, and I couldn't stop it. So I stepped off the bus and smacked my head, this part of my head here, full pelt on the wing mirror of the bus. I didn't even realise the wing mirrors were that low. Like, I'm only 5'5", like I'm not a really tall person. Like, I literally just saw flash before my eyes, didn't know what the hell had happened, and then they said, oh, it's the wing mirror of the bus. And it was so embarrassing. I was more embarrassed than anything else, because I screamed out because it shocked me, and I just imagined how funny and stupid it must have looked. But yeah, so I was annoyed by the band because it never wore, it just kept going off, and it could have told me about that bloody ring mirror. So but anyway, I've got my Rovi, Carol, who's absolutely fantastic. She trains me to do my stick training. She was the one that when I couldn't even leave the house, she got me back out, helping me. So she's been working with me for about 1.5 years now, or maybe even longer, and she's training me on that. So we went into Minehead last week, and it worked out quite well. Not as a sat nav, because there is a setting on there where you can use it to put in your favourite places. So like I would put Toucan Cafe, and it's completely back to front, and it's telling me completely, things are in the wrong place, and I know where things are because I've lived in Minehead my whole entire life, and so I know where everything is. I'm mainly based on drain pipes now, and bins, and light the big lights that are in the street, and trees that I whack with my stick, and I know exactly where I am. And it was telling me I was at the Chinese in Holloway Street when I stood outside Specsavers. So I'm not going to rely on that. I'm just going to literally use it for getting in doorways, because it buzzes, and then when I get to a gap, it will stop, and then I know that I'm stood in the centre to walk through the doorways, which I can do with my cane anyway, but it's mainly just to make sure that I don't whack my head on things. So I'll do a separate video and I'll show you it and how it works. This video is going on for quite a long time now, but I just wanted to basically give you an update. And on the 7th of June, not much longer, I'm going on a holiday with Somerset Site again. It's come to that time of the year, and we are going to Newquay. So I'll try and get some videos of that, of me on that, and or some pictures or something, and that'll be really fun. And I hope that everybody's well. I just wanted to give you an update. I am actually, like, despite that thing that happened, that blip, I'm doing really well, because it frightened me enough to shake me into really getting to grips on things. And as a result, I do feel better, but I am like very bloated because of the water weight when you first start really getting on top of things, which will go away in about 2 to 3 weeks. But I'm going out today for a nice carvery, and I've got my t-shirt on, and I've got my nice blue trousers on, and straightened my hair, my red lippy, and gonna go and enjoy myself. So I hope you all have a lovely day. Take care. Bye.